Hey everyone, this is BremSter and this is Centaur by BremSter. This is a puzzle I definitely created about 18 months ago, but unlike a lot of the other puzzles I've solved, this is one that I solved about a month ago. So I'm recording this in late March and I'm pretty certain I solved this one. It was either January, February, late February or early March that I went through and I did a retest of this one. So it's been a few weeks, but I have done this one semi-recently. So there will be some tricks that I probably remember as I'm going. Looking at the grid at the moment, I vaguely remember some stuff. But this is also a puzzle I created. So call this one a demonstration rather than a solve, but I definitely don't know all of the steps in my head. I'm going to have to find stuff, and it's possible I'll get lost because I solve so many puzzles on camera where I have to explain the logic and everything. I just can't keep specifics in my head. So helps that I have a terrible memory. So anyway, this is Centaur by BremSter from the Cagey Constraints Pack. So let's have a look at the puzzle. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits may not repeat within cages, which I don't think is a relevant rule for this, but it's actually, we're just using the same consistent killer ruling for every puzzle in the pack. And this puzzle has the Knightmare constraint, which is that cells that are a knight's move apart in chess, which is any two cells that have this shape between them. The cells at the end may not sum to either 5 or 15. They can be the same digit, but they may not sum to 5 or 15. So these two cells could not be 1 and 4. They could not be 6 and 9. Because then the two cells at the end would sum to 1 and 4. They sum to 5. You could not have this be a 1 and this be a 4. That would break the rule. This couldn't be a 6 and a 9, because if this was 6 and 9, they would sum to 15, and the cells separated by a knight's move may not sum to 5 or 15. They're the rules. Now, there's been a few puzzles released with this about 18 months ago. Knightmare sort of entered, and there was an entire pack with it and everything, and then I haven't seen a Knightmare puzzle in a year. So it'll be interesting to see how this puzzle is taken. So I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So, 10 cage. Minimum digits you can put into a 10 cage is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 add to 10, so this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 7 cage is 1, 2, and 4. The reason for this is, and I covered this a lot of times, the minimum digits you can put in are 1, 2, and 3, which sum to 6. I need to get one more from somewhere, so I have to increase one of those digits by 1. If I increase the 1 by 1, I'd end up with 2 2s. If I increase the 2 by 1, I'd end up with 2 3s. So I have to increase the 3 by 1. This is 1, 2, and 4. Now, I've used up 3 of the low digits, but the 10 cage must be a low and a high digit. It's just the way 10 cages work. 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6 are the only possibilities. Because after that you hit 5 and 5 and you're broken. So this must be 3, 7. The 13 cage, well, I can't use 9, 4. I could use 8, 5. I can't use 7, 6, and that's it. So this is 5, 8, and this is 6 and 9 to complete the box. Okay. Now, in a 14 cage, okay, here's the thing. I can't put 9 in a 14 cage, because if I put 9 in a 14 cage, the other 3 cells would have to sum to 5, and as I explained down here, the minimum you can put into a 3-cell cage is 1, 2, 3, which actually sums to 6. So I can't put 9 in a 14 cage. That's not a 9. That's not a 9. I can't put 9 into a 10 cage. That's the 9. So this becomes the 6. Can I put 8 in here? If I put 8 in here, the other 3 cells would have to be 1, 2, and 3, and that doesn't work. Because if I put 8 in here with 1, 2, 3, then I'd have 5 cells from 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be broken. Basically, the question is, where does 6 go in this row? 6 has to go up here, and I can't put 6 and 8 in here because then I'd already sum to 14. So this is the 8, and this is the 5. This 8 means that can't be 7. That would break the Knightmare rule, so that's the 3, and that's the 7. This 3 takes 3 out of there. So 3 is up here. 6 is up here, and I need 3 more. Well, hang on. I now need to put a 5 in here as well. So if I've got 6 and 5 in here, then they sum to 11. I need 3 more. So this is 1, 2, 5, 6, and there's no 5 or 6 here. So I can do that. Okay. But in this top row, the 4 must be over here because there's no 4 in there and there's no 4 in there. So the 4 is in one of those 3 cells and it's not there. That is a 1, 2 pair. Okay, what's at this 20 now? Is that what I want to look at? Because, actually, yes, I do. Because this 8 means I can't put 7 in any of those cells. Because a 7 in either of those would mean there's a knight's move that sums to 15. So there's no, the 7 is in the 20 cage, and then I need 2 cells that sum to 13. Now, I could use 9, 4. I couldn't use 8, 5. I can't use 7, 6 because the 5 and the 6. So this is 4, 7, 9. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 8. And the 3 here makes this the 8 and this the 3. So these 4, 7, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, these are, well, these are 4, 7, 9, but I can't use a 4. So this is a 7, 9 pair. That's the 4. This is a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair. I could have taken the 4 out because of those. So what's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So how is this going to work? Because this is also a 20 cage. If that's a 9, these would have to sum to 11 and would be 5 and 6. If this is a 7, these would have to sum to 13 and would be 8 and 5. There's always a 5 in there. This 3 means that's not a 2. Oh, the 7 resolves that. The 7 means that can't be an 8. That's the 6. I also possibly could have done it. Anyway, that's a 6. So this is a 5, 8. 5, 8 sums to 13. So that's the 7. That's the 9. This 3 says that's not a 2. Can I take that any further? I do remember there's a trick. There is a trick at this point, and I vaguely remember what it is. So this is definitely something I remember. And I think I remembered this almost from designing it. So the question we want to look at now is row 4. And there's quite a lot of 6s and 9s looking at row 4. So let's mark all of row 4. And ask where can 9 go. 9 can't go here because it would see a 6 by knight's move. 9 can't go here, it sees a 9. 9, well, you can't put 9 into a 10 cage, so I could have removed all of those anyway. 9 can't go here or here, it would see a 6 by knight's move. 9 can't go here, it would see the 9 in the column. So 9 is in this 15 cage. And then I need 2 digits that sum to 5. Sorry, to 6. So it's either with 1, 5 or 2, 4. So this is either 1, 5 or 2, 4 with 9. But it must contain a 9. So what does that do for this? The 10 cage... I'm actually not sure. This is 7, 8, 9. 24 cages, 7, 8, 9. Oh, this is interesting. One of these is a 1, so that can't be a 4. So what could the 10 cage be? I have no problem with using the killer calculator on some of these harder ones. Now, this can't be 127. But, yeah, well, it can't be 127 because there's a 7 in the box. But I was looking at it from that. So there must be a 1 or a 2 in this cage. Because the way you can make up a 10 cage, 127, 136, 145, 235. Can it be 235? Do I have to use a 1 in the cage? It can't be 145. There must be a 3 in this cage, I think, because if this is 145, this becomes 259, and 259 isn't 15. 25 is 7 plus 9 is 16. So this can't be 145. So there is a 3 in the 10 cage, and it's 136 or 235. If it's 235, then this is broken, because 235 here means that this is 149, and 149 is only 14. So this can't be 235. This is 136. And at 136, the 15 comes out of here. This becomes 249, and this is a known triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8 go into those. There's no 5 or 8 there. That's the 7. And this is a 5-8 pair. There's no 6 here. And this is a triple. 2, 4, 5. Interesting. This is 5 or 8. Now, this 15 cage must be fully entropic, because a 15 cage, for reasons I've explained in other videos, must either be 4, 5, or 6 or fully entropic. Like a low digit, a middle digit, and a high digit. And if you don't know the explanation on that, you can look at just the values in the cage. Now, it can't have 7 or 9 in it. So, right, it can't have 7 or 9 in it. So this 15 cage must have an 8 in it. And the reason for that is, okay, I am going to explain it because I'm going to use the entropy trick. You cannot put 2 low digits into a 15 cage and have it be valid, because the highest 2 low digits, low being 1, 2, 3, high being 7, 8, 9, mid being 4, 5, 6. If you put 2 low digits in, the highest you could do is 2 and 3, and you would need a 10. Doesn't work. 2 high digits, the lowest you could put in is 7 and 8. You're already at 15. Doesn't work. So if you put any 2 middle digits in, 4, 5, or 6, you immediately need the third middle digit, because 4, 5, and 6 sum to 15. So you can't put 2 low digits and something else. You can't put 2 high digits and something else. So it is either all middle digits, 4, 5, 6, or it's 1 low, 1 mid, and 1 high. Now, I can't use 4, 5, 6 in here. So in this cage, I have to put a low, a mid, and a high. I can't use 7 or 9 in the box. It sees 9 in the column and 7 in the box. So there must be an 8 in here, and the only place, because of this 5-8 pair, I can put the 8 is there. So that's an 8. These 2 digits have to sum to 7. And there is a bug crawling on my leg. These have to sum to 7. Now, they can't be 1, 6. They can't be 2, 5. This is a 3, 4 pair. That is not the way I've ever, or when I solved this a month ago, I don't think I found that. This is now 1, 2, 6, 9. Okay, this can't be a 2 because it sees the 3 by night move. This can't be the 9. Okay. So this can't be a 1 or a 2, because if this was a 1 or a 2, this would, like a 1 here would mean this has to be a 12. A 2 would mean this has to be 11. Pardon me. So a 9 here puts a 4 here. A 6 here puts a 7 here. That doesn't work. This is 9 and 4, and I can take 9 out of those. So there's a 2 in one of those, so there's no 2 there. This can't be a 1, because if this was a 1, then this would have to be a 10. 2 would put 9 here, 6 would put 5 here, and it can't be that. So this is 2 and 9. 2 comes out of here. This is a 1-6 pair. Okay, is this doing anything more? 4... Maybe, but I'm not seeing it yet. There's no 9 in either of those, so that becomes the 9. 7-8 pair. I'm solving this completely differently, and it's weird. 1 is in one of these 3. The 2 takes 2 out of there. There is a 6 over here as well. Okay. The 4 looks up taking the 4 out of there. This becomes the 4. This is a 1-2 pair. So can I get something about these? 1. So what is the quadruple? 1, 2. There is a 3 down here in this 13 cage. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 6. That can't be a 6. If this is 1, 2, this would have to be a 10. Well, there's a 3 down here. If this is 1, 3, this is a 9. If this is 2, 3, this is an 8. Well, and if this is 6, 3, this is a 4. What's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 6, 8, and that must contain an 8. So if it's 1 and 8, that's 9, and that'd have to be a 10. This is a 6-8 pair. So there's no 6 here. So this wasn't 3, 6, so this was never 4. But 6 and 8 is 14. That's a 5. I'm solving this very differently to any way I've solved it before. And I don't mind that, but it is a little confusing. 7 and 8 must be in here, mustn't they? Yes, 7 and 8 are in those. Now, this can't be an 8 because it would see a 7. This can't be a 7. So there's no 7 in this 14 cage. So it means these can't be 1 and 6, because if this was 1 and 6, this would have to be a 7. So this can't be a 1-6 pair. There must be a 1-6 here. And these are 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot of options. There's no 3 here. Oh, there's no 4 here. Seven is in one of those two, interestingly enough, because I can't put 7 in here, and I can't put 7 in any of those. 7 is in there. Five and 7 are in those, and that's not the 5. So 5 is in one of those. Okay. Knuckle down, BremSter. What are you missing? It'll be a nightmare restriction that I've missed. Such as that 9, meaning that can't be a 6. So this is the 6. We know 9 is down here by Sudoku. 9 in the 12 cage would mean that the other digits would have to sum to 3, and they would be 1 and 2. Which isn't disproven. There's no 9 here. 9 is in one of those two. There's a 6 down here as well. I can't put 6 and 9 both in the cage, so there is a 6 down here. This is 6 or 9. This is a 689 triple. Oh, the 6-8 means that's the 1 and that's the 6. That 6 takes 9 out of there. That 1? No, not that I can see. Knightmare is tricky. When I test solved this a month ago, I solved it with Maggie, and she was spotting all sorts of Knightmare stuff that I was just missing. She's good at scanning. Okay, so if this is 9, it would be with 1, 2. If there's a 6 in here, I'd need 2 digits that sum to 6, which would have to be 2, 4, because I couldn't use 1, 5. So there is a 2 in this cage, which means I can't put 2 here or here. So 2 is in one of those two. That is not a 2. 2 is in one of those two. So I'd have to put a 7 or an 8 down here. But I'm not seeing a restriction on that. Is it this 14 cage? If this is 8, these would have to sum to... Hang on, if this is 8, these would have to sum to 6. Oh, they could be 1, 5. If this is 3, these would have to sum to 11. I could do that. I could do 6 and 5, I think. Three, 6, 5, 1, 3, 6, 5. I don't see why that doesn't work. Okay. There'll be... Oh, that 3 has seen that for ages. That can't be 2. That's 1, that's 2. I now know this triple, which is 1, can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 5, 7. So this is 1, 5, 7. Oops. 1, 5, 7. There's no 5 there, but it means there's no 1 here. This is 2, 3. 2, 3 sums to 5, which means this has to be the 8, which takes the 8 out of there, making this the 8, this the 7. That 8 means that can't be a 7. That's the 9. That's the 7. That 8 means that can't be a 7. It was... Man, I missed that for way too long. It's okay. It's a thing. Now, if this is a... So do I know what this is now? This is 2, 3, 4, or 5. 2, 3, 4, or 5. No, it's not. Hang on. So from the row, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. But it can't be 2 or 4. So this is 3 or 5. If this is 3, this has to be 5, 6. So if this is 3, this is 5. Could this ever be 1 anymore? If this is 3, if this is 1, the maximum I could make this is 1, 6. If this is 1, the maximum I could make it is 1, 6, would mean that'd have to be a 7. There's no 1 here. This is the 1. There is absolutely a 6 in this cage. This is 3, 5, 6. 3, 5, 6. Please tell me it sums to 14. Yes, it does. Yay. This is 3, 5, 6. The 3 looks down, making that the 5, that the 6, that the 3. There you go. The 3 makes that the 4 and that the 3. The 4 looks across, making that the 5 and taking 5 out of those. Haha, progress. The 5 looks up, making that the 8 and that the 5. Okay. There is another digit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. I've already got 6 and 9 down here. Oh, this 8 makes this the 6, which makes this the 8, and now this is the 9. There is no 9 in here. This is 2 and 6, because 2 has to go in the cage. How did I determine that? How did I determine 2 had to go in the cage? I did that. Because if it was 9, it had to go with 1, 2. And if it was 6, it had to go with 2 digits that sum to 6. And it couldn't be 1, 5. So there had to be a 2 in the cage. But this is now 2, 4, 6. There is no 6 there. There we go. So this is 2, 4, 6. So there's no 4 there. There must be a 6 in one of those two. 2, 4. That's 2, 4. So there's no 4 there. This is the 4. The 1, 3 pair makes that the 2, which makes that the 1, which takes the 1 out of all of those. This is 2, 5, 6. That 3 said that can't be a 2. 6 can't see. Oh, that 9 means neither. That 9, and this is another knight's move I missed, means neither of those could be a 6. That's the 6. This is a 2, 5 pair. It is so easy to miss nightmare stuff. I'm getting there. The whole thing is I'm getting there. This 2 sees that, so that's the 1 and that's the 3. The 3 looks up making that the 1 and that the 3. That's not a 4. There's a 7 down here, but it doesn't see an 8 by knight's move. Okay. This quadruple maybe? 1, 3, 7, 8. There's no 1 in those. There must be a 3 in here for the 3, 7, 8, so I can take 3 out of those. Now, 3 can't see a 2 by knight's move, so that's not the 3, that's the 3. This is 1, 7, 8. Now, this 8 sees both of those 7s. That's not the 7, that's the 7, that's the 8, that's the 7. The 1 can't see a 4, and the 8 can't see a 7. But I seem to be good. Ah, except this 8 makes this the 1 and this the 8. I'm looking for a nightmare and missing Sudoku. That is the way of life. The 1 makes that the 7 and takes the 7 out of there. This is 1, 5. 1 can't see a 4. But 1 is in one of those two now by Sudoku. Now, if this is a 1, these would have to sum to 12. 9, 3 would be possible. 8, 4 wouldn't. 7, 5 wouldn't. So if this is 1, this is 9. Oh, no, this can't be a 1. Because if this is 1, this would either have to be... Ah, no, 9, 3. It would be 9, 3. I'm summing to 13, but it would be 12. 9, 3 would be possible. It would be 9 here and 3 here. And I'm not seeing a problem with that. Okay. So what's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 4 there, so that's actually a 4. So hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, there must be a 6 in here. There must be a 6 in here. So then I need 2 digits that sum to 7. And I can't use 1, 6. This can't be the 1. This is the 1. Which means this is the 5 and this is the 1. So I need 2 digits that sum to 7. They're not 1, 6. They could be 2, 5. They can't be 3, 4. This is 2, 5, 6. This isn't the 6. The 4, of course, looks up, making that the 2, that the 9, that the 4. The 2 looks down, making that the 5. This is the 2, 6. The 2, 6, of course, makes this the 3, this the 2, this the 3. The 2, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7 and 9. Two can't see 3 by Knight's move. 6 can't see 9 by Knight's move. Not seeing any of that. 7 can't see 8 by Knight's move. 9 can't see 6 by Knight's move. Okay. Is it the 4? That 4 takes 4 out of there. There'll be a Knight's move thing I'm missing, or am I looking for the wrong thing? Yeah, of course. That 7 makes that the 9 and that the 7. Now I'm just playing with 2s, 4s, and 6s. Something has to trip this over. Twos can't see... Right, this 3 means that can't be a 2. Is that enough? That 3 means that can't be a 2. That's the 6, that's the 2, which means that's the 4, that's the 2, that's the 6. The 2 looks up making that the 4 and that the 2. Of course, this 2 looks up, I could have used that, making that the 5 and that the 2. And that is the solution to Centaur by BremSter. Really tricky puzzle. The break-in in row 4 I took further than I've ever taken before. And as I said, this is not a completely blind solve. And the general testing constraints on this, when it was tested 18 months ago and lots of people in Skunkworks were solving Knightmare puzzles, called this one sort of a mid-hike, and the couple of people who've tried to solve this recently have called it a bit harder because Knightmare has kind of left people's practice zone. So I'm probably going to rate this one as either a hard hike or an easy trek. I'm not really sure yet. I would prefer to rate puzzles slightly harder than they actually are than cause solvers frustration. That's just the way I would prefer to do it. I know that's bucking the trend where people tend to prefer to rate puzzles easier so that they get more eyes on puzzles, or to say, look how easy I found this puzzle. But that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to reduce the amount of frustration that solvers feel. I really, I like this puzzle. I think it's got a lot of really nice stuff in it. So I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, good luck with your solving.